You all, we are not licensed professionals. You know, we are just here on this roller coaster called life, trying to be better friends to one another, trying to be better human beings on this planet. If you're tuning in, we are not opting out of therapy. We are not advocating that you listen to us and not see someone who is licensed and trained to help you with day-to-day life on how to cope and deal. So we advocate for therapy a lot here. We believe that everyone has something to talk to somebody about. So, just like to make that disclaimer that we're just here giving our opinions and having discussions week by week. And we're hoping that, you know, maybe you can find something useful, or if at least find a little humor in this terrible, terrible rock we call the world.
In other words, if you listen to our advice and you get popped in the mouth, don't at us.
Yeah, don't at me, because you may get popped in the mouth again. Not a techno version.
This is the original version.
No, it's not.
You know, right? You know what? That is definitely the Kygo remix. I apologize, Miss Turner. I'm so sorry. R.I.P. to you, truly an icon of the musical scene.
Of everything.
I apologize for playing that version of your song.
Okay.
I didn't look at it. It was good. It was a bop. It was
okay.
cute.
She may get played this summer.
I favorited it.
I'm not okay. My mother is not okay.
Oh, the boomers are not okay.
They're not. But yes, just taking a moment to recognize you, Tina Turner, for everything you do, your music, you being a icon and standing up for yourself and believing that you deserved better.
Truly paving the way for many people.
For many, many people to leave situations that are not the best for them. So you will be missed. Our condolences to your husband and your family and everything of that nature. So
yeah, that one shook me.
Oh God. I'm not okay, but
not at all.
Welcome back to another episode of Friendship University. You all know the vibes. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome. Welcome one, welcome all, welcome everyone. You know, we join you every Friday for Friendship Fridays. To just not be trash. And if Tina Turner taught us anything, it's that we can live boldly and proudly and love ourselves and find love. So
even though I got nothing to do with nothing. Even though love ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Ain't got nothing to do with it. And that's it.
Okay. Well, yeah, so how you doing, Miki?
Ooh.
Trick question.
Is it?
I don't know.
Is it a trick question? I feel like I know it's coming every week, but I'm never ready for the answer. A roller coaster, I would say.
Makes sense.
Nothing particularly bad, quote unquote, happened. I've had a very busy week. Busy planning a 60th birthday party for my mom. Mind you, it wasn't the most all-out thing. It wasn't super sweet 60 or whatever.
You had a block party.
It was like a little get together or whatever. It was cute. I just don't like planning parties. Mind you, my sister did a lot of the work. I was more so helping with the financial parts of it. Not that she didn't help financially as well. She contributed a lot of money as well. But just planning to what are we gonna eat? What are the decorations? What time is she gonna be there? Who are we inviting? Who can make it? What are you gonna get for a gift? How are we gonna cook the food? It's just a lot. I don't like party planning. I think that the problem is I love planning. I'm a good planner. But I'm only a good planner when it comes to things that I can control and things I have a direct impact on. Mind you, the party is one of those things where I had a good amount of control over it. But when it comes to coordinating with other people, oh, can you make it to the party? I'm inviting you, or hey, this is how much you need to contribute, or hey, not that we had anyone else contribute, but things like that, similar to planning trips.
Oh yeah.
I don't like doing it. I'll do it because I have to. But yeah, as soon as I have to start putting other people in the ring where they have to make decisions and stuff like that, it gets annoying. Where it's either let me do it all or don't involve me at all. Which is, I know, not a very good place to be, because then if I do it all myself, I'm stressed out and I'll end up quitting.
And then you'll be like, you
my birthday party
never helped me with nothing.
So I think at this point, I'm just going to be like, when it comes to any kind of plans of any kind, unless something that I really want to do, I'm just going to be like let me know who to send the money to guy. Don't ask me to plan. Don't ask me to do this. Don't ask me to get the plates. Don't ask me to stop by Dollar General. Don't tell me to stop by Party City and get 50 balloons. Don't tell me, what kind of cake should we get, or where should we go? Don't ask me that. Just tell me I need $100 or whatever amount of dollars by this date. Okay. Sounds good. Here you go. Let me know where I need to end up at. It was still a great time. Of course, we wanted to take my mom on something a little more extravagant, but just with the economic world we're in right now, America is about 6 days away from defaulting on our debt. Which, side note, if y'all aren't paying your bills, I'm not paying mine.
Okay.
And I find it weird that you can't pay your bills. It's giving poverty.
It's giving broke.
It's giving broke bitch. Honestly, America, a little embarrassing. But like I said, if you're not paying your bills, I'm not paying mine.
You're asking us to pay bills, and
you can't even pay your own bills. Okay,
you expect us to pay our credit card bill every month,
and you hit me up on Cash App talking about, can I borrow $5?
But you're over 30% of credit card usage.
I don't.
How's your credit score even?
I don't get it.
How do you keep getting credit?
That's been looming over my head, because I try not to think about it too much, but I think about it a lot, unfortunately, because it's gonna be rough if it happens. I have a marginal amount of faith in our leadership to do what they got to do. Mind you, again, we have more or less 5 or 6 working days until that happens. So come next week, we will let you know either if we're sobbing because everything's falling apart, or if we're like, oh yeah, it worked out. So we'll see how that goes. Aside of that, had a good weekend. I went to see, I'm going to say 3 different names because I don't know how to pronounce it. Either Deborah DeLuca, Deborah DeLuca, or Deborah, or I guess it's only 2. I don't know what it is. The problem is with the name Deborah. When I read it, my mind wants to read it as Deborah. This offends a lot of the people I know who are named Deborah, which are more than one. Because there'll be times like, oh yeah, Deborah. I'm like, ooh, Deborah. My aunt's named Deborah. I'm allowed to say it, okay? It's Deborah. I hate to tell you, your name is Deborah.
I feel like in some nations it probably is pronounced Deborah.
It's Deborah. It is what it is. I have a lot of room to say that because, yes, I call myself, my name is. Mm-hmm. But the actual saying of my name is different than how I say it. Mm-hmm. So I don't take offense to when people use my name that way. I'm like, okay, technically speaking, you are right. Same way with Deborah. Sorry about it, Deb. Sorry about it, Deborah. You're Deborah. It is what it is. You know, English is a weird language. We say things weird. It is what it is. So, saw Deborah / Deborah DeLuca, or is it even DeLuca? It might be DeLucia. I don't know. So good techno artist. She does a lot of remixes of R&B and hip hop and stuff like that. So nice. She did a remix of I think Waterfalls by TLC. She did a remix of Lamborghini Mercy, which threw me back. I heard that. I was like, is this Lamborghini Mercy, bitch? Okay, she definitely kept that in there. I haven't heard Lamborghini Mercy since I was in school.
Heard that in a while. I'm gonna have to look her up.
She's a good time. No, she's a good time. Then on Saturday, I was just deadbeat tired from the party and stuff like that, and going to the the show. I slept until 4 p.m. I didn't get out of bed until 4 p.m. I woke up. I think I went to McDonald's, and I came back and I watched TV and I went back to sleep. I was dead. And then on Sunday, I ended up going to what is it? Paintballing. Was it Sunday? No, it was Monday. It was Monday.
We actually thought about. I actually thought about taking you paintballing for your birthday.
It was a good time. I mean, there's some things I know about paintball now that I didn't know before. One, I should dress differently because it was very hot and I was burning alive.
You're outside.
I was like, let me wear, I put the gear on. It was very hot, so I know I need to wear certain clothing. I know that I need to bring an anti-fog mask. Let me tell you, because I got rental equipment, right? Oh. The equipment was, of course, it's rental stuff, so it's not going to be perfect. The anti-fog seal that would be on goggles like that was broken. So let me tell you, bitch, I was shooting this paintball gun who knows where. I couldn't see nothing but fog. And then they also had like, you know, there's different things you can buy at the store. Because essentially like paintball is like soft war games where you have like you have smoke grenades, you have, you know, paint grenades, you have your gun, you have hand pistols and stuff like that. I was very basic. I got just a normal gun and then my mask, and that was pretty much it. Someone threw off a smoke grenade, and I could, between that and me not being able to see because of my goggles, I was blind. I was like, I'm just gonna shoot this gun, whatever's in front of me. Whatever's in front of me is just gonna get shot. But no, I had a great time. It was a really good time. I actually am going to end up doing it probably like once a month with some friends. So it'll be a nice little something to go do.
Do they hurt?
Honestly, no. You were going to feel it, but in my opinion, maybe it's because I'm like a little chubby, I don't know, but it felt like more someone like flicking me like a pretty hard.
Like
so like something hit me, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm dying or whatever. Now I will say there was a point where like, cause it's just a face mask, I looked down, which I don't think you're supposed to be looking down during situations. I looked down at something and someone shot me on top of my head.
Oh.
I did feel that. It still wasn't like I'm crying or sobbing. It was a noticeable like, ooh, okay, I felt that. But it wasn't like I would never do this again kind of thing.
They did a kill shot.
No. If I wasn't actually in war, I got sniped. They got a headshot and I died. If I was in the trenches, that's where I would get my Purple Heart or whatever.
Oh, now we gotta bury you.
That's where they would bury me because the way they got me right in the head. I was like, oh. Note to self, watch out for you.
Noted, do not look down. I've only been paintballing once, and I was like 19, maybe.
I still think it depends on like your pain tolerance. Like I have numerous tattoos. Like
fair.
My pain tolerance is relatively high in comparison to other people. Some people fair. Like you get your pinky touches, you're like, I'm dying. At my mother, no offense, mom, your pain tolerance is, I mean, she actually has a pretty high pain tolerance for certain things. I'll just tell you, she got a tattoo. She was supposed to get a tattoo that was supposed to be a bit bigger. That tattoo ended up being like the size of a nickel, and she was like, that was the worst experience of my life.
Hasn't she been shot?
Yeah, like I said, her pain tolerance is weird. I don't understand it. I don't understand how she's been shot, and she also has like a bad back and been through like 7 surgeries. But that little tattoo that is like the size of a nickel was like the worst experience she's ever had. So
did she get a wooden nickel?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn.
No, it was a butterfly.
Okay. Delicate.
Very delicate. But yeah, outside of that, you know, trying to just keep my head above water. I'm not gonna lie. This morning I did wake up in like a frustrated, like sad crying. Frustrated, I was like, wow, this is life. And there are just a group of white people in a place called the White House who are really debating how my future is going to look right now. And it just like pissed me off, and I got sad and I started crying. My depression is like transitioned to like irritability lately, which isn't like a fun place to be in, because like people will do the smallest thing and I'm like, you know what? I should break your teeth. Like it's the smallest. Like the other day, I was driving and this pedestrian was walking, and they were walking in the middle of the road. They weren't doing anything wrong. They had their headphones on. Like I wasn't like in a rush per se, but because they were in the middle of the road as I was trying to like get to my apartment, the way I was like, I should just floor it. I should just hit them with the car. Like I should just do it. So I can't wait to talk to Michael about that, because I don't know what's going on. I'm not an angry person typically. You know, that's not true. I'm not outwardly angry. Irritable.
Irritate, yes.
Oh, I get irritated quickly.
But not angry.
But now it's turning into anger. And I would never act out of my anger per se. Maybe, hopefully not. But a lot of that's like internal locked in emotions where I'm like, don't get angry. Don't do what you want to do because you're going to regret it. You know, I'm very much like, be careful what you say, who you say it to, because you never know. You may be mad and you may say something that's going to fuck up your relationship with that person. So I try my best to like lock it in. But it's hard. It's being hard to lock in now. Like I'm really ready to start throwing hands. So I don't know if I need to go to like kickboxing or something. I don't know.
Go to a rage room.
A rage room might be nice. So, yeah. You know, how about you? How are you doing? I know you had a very fun yet albeit intense weekend.
Okay. Balancing the fun of music and the fear of being arrested, but I'm good. Yes. So just came back from a music festival on the beach, Gulf Shores, Alabama. And I have 2 words for Alabama for people visiting. Stay away.
Stay away. You got to.
They are out, baby. We had read about past events, past experiences. You know, we're Reddit users over here. We go to Reddit, try to get, you know, the truth about the lowdown and the skinny and all that jazz about things that we go to. And multiple Reddit users were saying how they don't bring drugs, like don't bring any paraphernalia, not even a pen, don't bring anything pre-roll, like don't bring anything that they tell you cannot bring into the festival, included alcohol, anything. Don't do it because you will get arrested. Like there are helicopters everywhere, and they're just waiting to arrest people. Now when we touched down in, I think the city name was Foley or something like that, which is where Gulf Shores is. Mm-hmm. There were helicopters already. And we weren't even at the beach. This was maybe 6, 7, maybe 8 miles away from the beach we were. Cops everywhere, just hiding in the... First of all, the speed limit changes so rapidly, so often. We were on like a street highway. I forgot the official name for them. But the speed limit went from like 55 to 45 to 30, back to 45, back to 35 in the span of maybe like 10 minutes. Maybe not even that. We were on one street and the speed limit was 26 miles an hour.
That didn't make no sense.
I didn't even know speed limits didn't go by increments of 5 or 10.
I always thought it was 5, like 5, and yeah, this 5 or 0. That's it. That's the only options you get.
I never knew that, so that was very strange. And I tried to look at it to see if somebody changed it. No, that was the actual sign. It says 26 miles an hour. So cops, every time the speed limit changed, there was a cop tucked away, like waiting to see if you were going to be speeding.
They were trying to hem y'all up.
So we did a smooth 40 miles an hour just the whole way. Just everywhere we went, we were at the 40 because we knew we would be somewhere in between. So there was that. And then the festival itself, I will say, great. There's one artist who didn't show up. They can count their days with me because you only get one time to make a fool out of me. I ain't gonna say your name on the air, but I probably won't see you at this point because that was the only time that I was going to be able to see you. But the lineup's stupid. Like Lil Nas X did amazing. A performer. Like he came out on a horse. It wasn't the Beyonce horse.
Beyonce is about to sue him.
It wasn't the Beyonce.
Let me tell you, Beyonce is about to cease and desist that ass. Blue Ivy's about to serve papers.
He had a white fur on with this shiny, like, crop body kind thing.
Blue Ivy's on the plane right now to serve him papers as we speak, bitch.
It was, and his dancers knew what they were. They were smiling at the camera, just giving nice little smirks. So, very good time. Got to see my teenage self has thanked me every day. Paramore. It's just so good. Haley girl, them chops are still chopping. I'm so happy. But yes, it was very good. SZA did great. Red Hot Chili Peppers always gives a great show. Calvin Harris was a great closer. I will say that. Like, when I saw his name, I was like, oh, this makes perfect sense. This is definitely beach music, like vibing. But he did really good. Like, shut the show down. He really shut it down. Like, I was like, okay, Calvin, I see you. So nothing to say about that. We're on a beach. Obviously, the sand. There's a little bit. You do need to be aware. There's just a little bit of resistance when you walk in. So you do need to be prepared to like feel like you are walking a long time because you're just walking through sand. A lot of the space wasn't sand, but a lot of it was. So you just have to be prepared for that. I'm pretty used to walking through sand, so it was cool. Wasn't overtly hot. Like the temperature was nice. There were times where it did get a little hot, but as long as you kind of stayed close to the water, you felt that breeze. So all in all, great on that end. Where it got messy and just unattractive was the like excessive checking. Like they took everything out of my purse, and
including my duck.
Yes, we had Ducky. We're gonna insert how do I insert that here just for 10 seconds so we don't get sued. We're gonna make a memorial video. We got the festival duck. It's Mickey's Ducky. He travels with him. He takes the photos. He lives a life.
It's a little pink duck.
Yes. And he died how he lived, outside.
at a show.
Outside at a show.
I can't believe
they
the cops took that duck.
confiscated the duck. They confiscated our mutual friend's chapstick because you can't bring open chapstick into.
They said that must be drugs.
I looked at the man and I looked at the lady who took the chapstick and I said, you can't bring chapstick in, but you can bring lip gloss in. As the man standing next to her was holding my lip gloss. And she just said yes, and he put the lip gloss back in my purse. And I just looked at her like,
so right here it is. She looked you in the face and called you a stupid bitch.
Yeah, I had open chapstick in my purse. So the excessive searching. Now, nobody physically touched me. So, maybe, the grace of God over me. But I saw people saying that they were getting touched everywhere in their private areas. Mm-mm. They were checking people again after you went through security. So cops were stopping people saying like, oh, you look suspicious, and like checking them again. Apparently there was like some racial profiling that was happening. It was that we were at one stage and there were literally police officers on the roof of the hotels.
Doing too much. On
each hotel roof, we saw at least 2 cops with binoculars looking into the crowd. So it was just like, this is kind of like overt. Like, what is going on? Like, and it wasn't even like, you know how you go to festivals and you see people slumped over and like passing out and the EMTs are coming through. It wasn't even really like that. You didn't see a lot of people. We may have saw 1 or 2 people sleeping on the beach. Normal. Long day in the sun. This one girl slept through the entire Calvin Harris show.
She said I'm tired.
The people were literally jumping and dancing around her and she did not wake up. So I hope you okay, girl. But yeah, great vibes. I don't know if I'll ever go back to that festival again. Yeah. But I enjoyed myself. I mean, we weren't particularly doing anything illegal per se. But nothing to get arrested for, I guess. We just got chapstick and Ducky confiscated, which was pretty terrible because we had so many hopes for him. We did get some photos. He went to day 1. Day 2 is when they confiscated my boy. And outside of that, it's been a week, just long, working a lot, trying to get things in place. My second to oldest niece is going to high school, so she's graduating from middle school, and we are doing a like little thing for her this weekend. So asked my sister what, I have a relationship with her, so I asked her what she wanted. She was like, auntie, whatever you want to get me, and whatever. So I asked my sister what her current obsession is, and she was just like, money. Just give her money. So I'll probably give her some money or something. I don't know. But preparing for that because she's going to have like a little graduation party, small thing at the house with some friends. So I get to meet some of her friends, which will be nice. Is that a cat? What was that?
You heard that too, right?
Yeah.
That wildebeest.
Did Loki follow you?
I heard something.
It's the kids. It's the bad kids outside. Just short commercial break. So where I currently am, we're at a friend's house, and the neighborhood is nice. Like, it's gated. Gate only stays open during office hours. They've got a saltwater pool, a little, a pet spa where you can shampoo and wash your pets and stuff. However, it's like railroad tracks almost. It's like you go to the other side of the road. These are figurative railroad tracks. You go to the other side of the railroad tracks, and there's a just outrageous neighborhood next to them. Like right next to them with badass kids. Like, they were throwing rocks at people's cars. They were screaming, cussing folks out, telling people to get your stupid ass out of the window. Like, it was just bad. Calling an Asian woman chink chonk. It's just terrible. And I don't understand. They're outside on a playground, but they're not playing on the playground. They're just outside terrorizing people. Where are the parents? And it's like during school hours.
No supervision.
Like, what time is it? It's like 8 p.m. Why are you not inside bathing and like getting ready for school tomorrow? And I hate to sound like the old person on the porch, like, get off my land, but
I mean,
go home.
the funny part is they're on their land. They're where they're supposed to be. They just happen to be able to throw shit very far.
So if you hear screaming, we aren't murdering anyone. Nothing's going on. It's the bad children who happen to just live right across the figurative railroad tracks, and they're that loud that in a just a nice congruent home with the door closed in a whole separate part, way away from that playground, you can still hear them. So maybe sometimes they hop the fence too. So maybe they hop the fence and they're over here. But
F them kids.
F them kids. What Monique say? Fuck them kids
and fuck you too.
But outside of that, I'm okay. I guess. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm pretty tired.
It's my Uber. I'll be back. Hold on.
Miki got some food delivered because we're gonna start the Fast and Furious. I don't even know. Can I say the Fast and Furious saga? Because sometimes it's too fast, too furious. Sometimes they're Tokyo Drift. Sometimes they're just Fast and Furious.
Sometimes it's not even Fast and Furious. Sometimes it's Hobbs and Shaw. Sometimes it's not even that. So, who knows? Vin Diesel said, we're making this the MCU of cars. So,
we may talk about it after we finish. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about each movie.
We have 10 of them.
We have
watch.
10 movies to watch.
Which, mind you, the only reason we're doing this is because I want to experience one of the movies.
Mickey wants my life to end.
Them seats that are like roller coasters and it'd be raining and shit. I can't wait.
He wants my whole life to end. He wants to be at Epcot. I just feel myself just falling. I feel like I'm going to the seats just going one jank. Like Maxine saw one cha. And it's just going to rip. And I'm just going to be out like a
They got to have seatbelts the way them seats be moving.
I don't know. But I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Because that's what my friend wants to do. But my God, when I saw that video, I was like, why is he trying to kill me?
I didn't even know those were still a thing. I know that was like a thing back in the day where it was like, oh, the 4D movie where it like splashes you with water or like the seat would vibrate. But no, they put them seats on hydraulics. And they're like, whoop.
I'm talking about you around town. Oh my God.
I can't wait.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
I also just can't wait to watch these movies because I heard there's nothing but ridiculousness.
I watched a video that was just outlining some of the most ridiculous things Vin Diesel does in the film. And I saw him flick, and then he was standing on top of one vehicle. The vehicle was turned to the side. So he was on the door. Somehow the vehicle came upright. We didn't see how he got onto the hood of the car. He was on the hood of the car and flicked the car off, and the car just boop.
Can't wait.
So we're starting that. But so we're probably, I can't say we're going to keep this short, but we said we had a surprise for you this week. And our surprise is that we passed our first freshman year. So we're officially 1 year old. We are moving into our sophomore year. We got through year one. We got our freshman 15. We lived, we learned, we grew, and we can't wait to see what's in store for the next year. We're probably going to do summer school because, some of our courses we just didn't do the best we could. So we'll be in summer school this summer, and then we'll be entering our sophomore year. So this week, we're probably just going to I don't know. We've done quite a few episodes. We did a lot of episodes. We're gonna post, or not even post. We're gonna put together a compilation of highlights. Some of our favorite moments, some of our funniest moments, some of our most memorable lessons for you, and you'll get an opportunity to get flashbacks and highlights from a lot of the episodes that we have dropped over the last year for you. So we hope that you find it funny and that you find, you know, if you're new here and maybe you haven't gotten an opportunity to listen to a lot of our episodes, hopefully you hear something that resonates, that keeps you to want to come back around and get more and more lessons from us. Mickey, what are your thoughts? You got any words on us making it through year one?
I'm very proud of myself because there was numerous times I was like, I'm just gonna quit. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just gonna give up, honestly. I'm proud of you for sticking true to your vision and, you know, putting all your ducats into this podcast. Like I said, there's been numerous times where I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna ghost everyone and just like move to Zimbabwe. So I'm happy that you kept us, you know, on the straight and narrow. You were very consistent. You were always ready to come and show up unless something was like direly happening where we couldn't do it. I'm very excited to see what happens in our next year. Keep in mind that you really only go to school for like 4 years, so I don't know what happens after the 4th year. But no, I'm happy. I'm happy that we had the opportunity to do this project together. We've learned a lot. We've grown a lot. Mm-hmm. We butted heads and grown closer and all that great stuff. So no, I'm proud of us. We did it 1 year in. Half of y'all niggas, including myself, can't even have a 1 year long relationship. So we're doing it. My longest relationship was 9 months, so I'm one of those niggas.
Almost a year.
If niggas would stop fucking up, maybe I would be in a relationship a little longer.
Damn.
I'm also the nigga who be fucking up though. So.
It's me.
I'm the problem. It's me. Taylor Swift was gonna sue us immediately.
Oh, girl.
She said Black singing my song. Absolutely not. Sue them.
There are a lot of other things she could sue me for that I've said about her outside of me singing that song.
Tragic.
So,
how about you?
Pick something else.
How are you feeling? We did it 1 year in. It went from an idea you had to a full blown 1 year podcast.
It's been a labor of love, and we want to be able to continue to do this. So, I believe that if we stay consistent and just stay true to the vision. This is something that God put on my heart many, 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 many years ago. I feel like I had this idea probably back in like 2013, somewhere around that time. So it's been over a decade in the making. It is a testament to just getting out of your own way. So I'm thankful for that and just really doing it. You hear people say all the time, just start, just do it. Just start wherever you are. And it sounds easier said than done, but you really do just have to start. You learn, like you said, we've learned so much. We still have probably so much more to learn, so much more to go, but I'm thankful that you stuck it out. Thankful that you decided that it was worth your time and commitment to continue to show up every week. So I'm proud of you for continuing to show up and sticking with it. And
I try.
Mickey doesn't like recognition, but you're gonna get it all over here.
Let me tell you, the worst part about DJing in Spain last year was people coming up to be like, "Oh my God, you did such a good job." I'm like, "Can you please leave me alone? I'm good. You don't have to tell me I did a good job."
Because you didn't hear at blah 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 speed when I did blah 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 blah. No, we didn't hear it. Nobody knows when you mess up but you. So
I'd be catching it. I'd be like, "Oh, everyone's gonna notice that."
Let me tell you something, and I learned this from being a learning and development professional, and like doing things like that. When you are introducing something to someone, they don't know what they don't know. They're
true.
Looking at you to be the expert and to just do it and show them something that they've never seen or do something that they've never heard. So I will tell you this, having worked in music, having been around a lot of musical people, a lot of artists, most of the ears out in the world are untrained. They don't know.
That, and I'm luckily enough in a space where people mainly do like coke and like ketamine, and like they're too fucked up to really notice. So like I can fuck up, and they're probably like, "Ooh, that was a dirty drop."
Okay.
Ow.
Get nasty with it.
Speaking of, I know before our conversation or before we started recording, we mentioned not mentioning plans, but I actually do want to mention this one because I'm very excited.
Yes!
I have decided to I'm kidding. No.
Giving up.
I'm giving up. No. We will be introducing, or more so, I will be introducing a segment. I was gonna say once a month, but it really depends on how I'm feeling. But we're going to call it After Hours or Study Hour, where I will be introducing our listeners to some new music. I'll be performing a mix that will be uploaded towards the end of our Friendship University episode. Like I said, I'm aiming for once a month. It's just a way to keep myself accountable, try to explore some new music genres I'm not usually used to playing outside of techno. You might also get some techno. But yeah, just a good chance for you to just get a little tunes in your life, listen to some new music. You know, I'm not sure when you listen to this podcast, maybe you listen on the way you work, maybe listen to it while you're working from home, you know, maybe you're doing it in the shower. Who knows? Maybe you're masturbating to it. So at least you have something else to listen to outside of our voice. Or do. I'm curious. If you masturbate to our podcast, let me know. I'm actually very curious if you do.
It's probably your voice, not mine.
Maybe it's both. Maybe
dun, dun, dun.
it's Loki. Actually, don't jerk off to my cat. I'll beat your ass.
Now you're
I'll
territory.
fight. I'll kill you. Fucking weirdos. But anyway, so yeah, I'm very excited for that. It's something that, you know, we've been talking about as far as like different segments and like what's some things we're interested in.
Excited.
And, you know, it'd be one thing just to do a segment that was just like, oh, we just made this up. We don't really care about it. It's just something we're going to do. But, you know, music's something I'm really passionate about. Side note, Kristen, we're still waiting on Kristen's book recommendations.
We're coming.
We've been waiting for like 4 months, girl. Where the book recommendations?
I'm doing the best that I can.
The girlies can't get their summer reading list, girl. The summer is here.
We'll start with the summer. Summer, I think, officially starts in June or at the end of May.
Something like that.
So the summer reading list to keep the girls cool, because we know you like to keep it hot girl summer. How about well-read girl summer? We can go for that. So I'll start this summer. It's not that I haven't been reading. It's just the genre that I was reading at for now was more in the entrepreneurial sector, and so because I've been trying to do some other things, and like I'm someone who has to have a right mindset, so I just did want to introduce that. I have some really fun books on the list that I want to read, some really popular ones too. Like I just picked up a book by this Black author. He's telling his story about him, you know, joining into the medical field and stuff like that. Maybe we'll start there. Or there's like a female Black author with a really popular book that's been out for years that I really wanted to read. So maybe we'll start there. But we will start this summer. So I'll hold myself accountable. I will start that in June. We will start the reading list
and study hour.
Study hour, yes. So
even though I can't guarantee it'll be an hour, you'll get what you get.
Study time. I don't know, study hall.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Study hall or something. We'll figure out the name, and we're gonna figure out the syllabus for sophomore year. So, you know, we have a lot of things in the works. We thank everyone who's been around, sticking with us, listening to us. We thank you so much for your support, your continued listens, anyone who's shared the podcast, who's told a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, reposted our stuff, liked our stuff. We're so thankful for you. It wouldn't be possible without you for sure. And we're hoping to gain more traction so that we can continue to give you this content and give you these visions and these lessons and different things like that. So if you haven't already, you can leave us a review on wherever you're listening to this. You know, rate us, leave a comment. Maybe your comment will get read. Shoot us an email. What would you like to see in sophomore year? What ideas do you have? What lessons? What topics about friendship, relationship, building and maintaining, and, you know, making connections with people and realizing who you are as a human being. Send us topics, whatever you want to discuss. Or if you just want to chat in and send us an email about whatever, let us know.
I will happily read any of your ghetto friends on air with names.
I won't may start a segment where if you want to
air out a friend, okay, or even congratulate a friend or shout them out. But I will definitely use names. So if you want me to use their name, let me know.
If not, please do not include it, or tell us in the email that you do not want this person's name included nor your name, and we will give you a pseudo. But yeah, I'm thankful. It's been a wild ride, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. So with that being said, we're going to lead it into the freshman highlights.
And we did it, baby.
Yeah, you have to be aware of that. You have to pay attention to how people show up in your life. because it's important, especially the older we get, right? Like, we, and I know you have aspirations to make 24 figures one day.
24 whole figures.
And I too have very big goals and aspirations and dreams to like change the world. And it's going to matter the people that you have around you. And it's going to matter the people that you can be vulnerable with. Because at the end of the day, it can't just be, and I'm not going to say it can't just be one person. But I think there is strength in tribe. And not having to put everything on one person. That's why tribes were so successful, because every person in the tribe plays a pivotal role in making sure that the colony is a success. So, if you ever feel like I'm taking on that strong friend trope, check me, because I would like to make the announcement now that I am no longer a part of the I can do it all myself strong black woman tribe. I've hung those letters up.
Okay,
I denounce it.
All right, girl.
I am dainty.
All right. Mm-hmm.
I am
a
damsel.
Okay,
I'm not in distress, but I need help.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Kristen could be on fire. Like literally engulfed in flames in front of you. I could have a bucket of water in my hand and she will say, "No, thanks, I'm good." That is.
I actually will look at you and be like, "Bitch, why are you still holding the bucket of water? Why have you not yet thrown it on me?"
Kristen really be out here doing the most. Which, I mean, it's admirable for sure.
Well, if
but
you
don't
see,
listen to her. She really be
no,
putting
let me know though. Let me know. Be like, girl.
I'm letting you know.
If
you
got it,
you do too much.
And that's why I said I am no longer part of the strong black woman tribe.
As of what time is it? As of 7:33 p.m.
I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not going to be out here taking on all of these tasks. And when I tell you, there was a yeah, check on your strong friends. And when I say check on your strong friends, that means let them know we're all strong, girl, brother, sister, cat, dog, whatever. We can all handle this together. Like, you do not have to carry this burden by yourself. Let that man carry your groceries and walk you to your car with an umbrella. Let him do it.
Or don't, because he could be a serial killer.
It was daytime, and I mean, it was a big parking lot. It was people. If he would have kidnapped me, let me tell you something.
We live in Gotham City, girl. What do you mean?
Woo! No, we don't live in Buckhead. Now.
No comment.
But I'm not going to get kidnapped. I'm going to scream out every description. You know how Liam Neeson told his daughter, they're going to take you. I just need you to prepare yourself. Scream out everything you see. That's what. Green Toyota 97 Corolla driving down Moreland Avenue. Black hat, black shirt, white guy.
My dumbass would say the same thing.
Dirty
like 6
nails.
times. Green Honda. Green Honda. The car is green. I would be having a moment.
I would scream out every single piece of information I could.
So we had this mutual coworker. If you remember her, we were pretty close with her at work. We went to her baby shower. We spent a lot of time trying to buy her gifts and all this other stuff like that for her incoming baby and stuff like that. And we had no idea like much about this person's life outside of work, or as far, because we didn't like follow them on social media and stuff like that. Like we talked about at work, or like when they brought us to like their like social gatherings and stuff like that. But then we discovered their social media, and boy, were we in for a shock.
I don't even think I remember. I thought that they didn't have a social media. Who found it?
Our mutual friend. It probably would have been better if we hadn't found it, honestly.
No, I needed to know, because they had told me some stuff at their baby shower that I knew then that's probably somebody we should not be conversing with, but against my better judgment, I tried to be the bigger person.
Yeah, you think you know a person. You spend 40 hours a week with the person. You hang out with them, you laugh, you share jokes. They bring you some snacks, some homemade cookies, maybe something like that. And then you find out that they really, really, really love Goya beans.
They voted for Trump and they were out here cooning for Goya. I'll say it. I don't care. They were out here cooning for Goya as an immigrant themselves.
Ants for raid.
You and your spouse are 2 documents away from getting kicked outside of that wall that person you voted for is trying to build against you. And you got the nerve to tell me that that's the person you believe should be in charge of the United States of America.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. That's what she said. I can't believe it.
We went to her baby shower.
I know the babies are innocent, but that baby's going to have to grow up in that household.
Which I'm not saying you can't have friends who have like slightly different political views than you, but at the same time, like she was deep in it.
There's a difference between like political borderline fundamental. I don't know if I want to use the term fundamental, but borderline fundamental differences. And then there is a difference between blatantly supporting someone who has proven they don't feel like my life should exist. Like in the sense of, because I don't know if I believe you can be friends with someone who has different political views on that to a certain extent.
Oh yeah, there's certain things, they're,
like that.
You can't be like, oh yeah, I don't really care about Black lives. I'm like, girl, have you seen me? Like, so yeah, obviously there's some things you can't disagree on. I'm talking about like very like minute things, like weed
money,
being legal. Like I don't care if you think weed should be legal. Like cool, good for you, I guess.
I mean, if somebody trying to stop your joint rolling. Because it's coming. Okay, we when we talk about political views, we'll talk about that a little bit. But yeah, there is a blatant difference between someone like maybe we're in different tax brackets, or you have certain things where you feel like large trees on residential properties shouldn't exist, or we need to unction our city officials for better roads, and this political party may not be focused on that, and so I'm not voting for that, but this party is. Versus, I'm going to openly support someone who has blatantly told me that your life doesn't matter. Like, as a Black person, as anybody in the LGBTQI community, as anyone who does not fit the construct of that person running, you can kick them to the curb. That we cannot deal with.
Definitely a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
I almost got conned into selling vacuum cleaners when I was like 18. It was like, we have a wonderful sales opportunity for you. Good growth, career opportunities. And they were like, okay, so like they didn't really tell us what we were like selling. And I didn't know like what an MLM at that point was, which is a multi-level marketing scheme.
A pyramid scheme?
Yeah. And they're like, you're going to go door to door and sell Roombas. And I was like,
oh, hold on now. Roombas was popping for a minute now.
But I had this, because they wanted me to sell Roombas and then rope people into selling Roombas.
Oh, you were in a true pyramid scheme. Like,
I called my dad.
You can get to the next level if you bring
get
another
a BMW,
person.
okay? I called my dad and I was like, hey, Dad, I'm at this job interview and they want me to do this. He was like, you should leave.
How many people were in the building? 20?
At least probably 25, 30.
Oh, I knew it. Y'all were in a conference room?
Yep.
Yo! Woo! Okay, I'm glad you
goodness.
didn't get to it. I mean, we got roped into doing something. I mean, it's paid off for me, but...
No shade to any of my friends. But I actually do know some friends who got roped into an MLM. And, like, that one would seem like... Oh, it's going to sound so rude. I can see if you didn't think critically about what you were seeing, that you'd be like, you could probably fall into it. But my anxiety doesn't let me do that. I'm gonna overthink things 600 times and be like, wait, hold on, that doesn't add up. But yeah,
That's fair.
If you let your friend get into an MLM, you're not a real friend.
They have to tell you though. I mean, you can, if they say keywords, you know they're in a pyramid scheme, but sometimes.
If anybody ever says, I just want to talk to you for 30 minutes and that's it, like, I just want to chat for 30 minutes and don't give you any explanation. You can ask them, like, oh, what do you want? Let's go get coffee.
For 30 minutes.
They never tell you. They always
I want to tell you about a great opportunity.
A great opportunity. They never tell you what it is. So you know you're going to say no before you show up. And you hemmed up at the Starbucks telling them, I don't want to sell vacuum cleaners.
But you know what I realized from working at different retail spots? There are just some people who are naturally gifted at sales. Like I seen it. We worked with someone could literally sell salt to a snail. Like water to a fish, could sell them anything, and it's just like it's profitable for them, so they do it.
In high school, I had a group of friends, and there was one friend who got into this thing called Vima. I couldn't really tell you much about it at that point in time, but like he was doing all these cool things, going to these awesome like house parties and these events and stuff like that. I think it was like a sports drink, like an energy drink. I don't know. But one day he's like, hey, y'all should come out to like this party. It's at like this mansion and it's going to be lit and we're going to have so much fun or whatever. At this point, I'm like 16 and like, you know,
absolutely.
The Michael Bay Transformers excites me, so like, you know, not thinking super clearly, I was like, sure, it sounds good. So we get there.
Mansion party, yeah.
Okay, you know, you're a child. Project X had just came out, like mansion party. Okay,
adults would jump at the opportunity to go
sounds exciting. Party. So we pull up, and he's like dressed nice. So we pull up, and there's like white Benz over here, white Beamer over there, white Audi, Lamborghini. Everything was white. Every car was, every fancy car was white. And they all had like a little V on it. And we're like,
red flag number 2.
So, and this is not any insult to any of my friends. As a young person, who wouldn't be excited by that?
Absolutely.
As a traumatized person, immediate red flags. Listen, my dad raised me on the concept of don't take no wooden nickels. I don't know what that means.
I was about to say, what the freak does that
to this
mean?
day.
Why would you take a wooden nickel?
I don't really know what that means to this day, but whenever he says it, it really resonates with me.
It resonates.
So whenever I'm out and about and I'm like, something seems sketchy, my dad's voice in my back of the head is like, don't take no wooden nickels. And I'm like, okay, you're right, Dad. I shouldn't take wooden nickels. So, did you look it up? What does it mean?
I mean, I got that. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, and it's not subliminal. What it says is what it means, but if someone hands you something made out of wood and you know it's supposed to be made out of another material, why would you take it? But this is what Googleisha said. The phrase, never take a wooden nickel means, do not permit yourself to be cheated or duped. Do not be naive.
So my dad was right.
He was right.
My dad was right. He told me not to take no wooden nickels, and I didn't take no wooden nickels. So moving on. We walk in the house and like the music's going. They got like Akon and
Young Jesus.
Okay. Jason Derulo, you know, all the bops back in circa 2011 or whatever the case may be. And they're like, all right, the event's about to start. And like the theatrics and fireworks and all this stuff. I thought it was a party too. Noticed. But so another wooden nickel that went off in my head was I was looking around because they were like, oh, you know, mingle, have fun, enjoy yourself. I was like, there is no alcohol at this party. There is no furniture at this house.
Wait a minute. Okay, the alcohol maybe because teenagers. So maybe they just didn't want to get arrested.
Fair, but there was also no furniture. Not a chair,
so a bed,
standing. Nothing. Everyone was just standing.
In like a foyer area? Where were y'all?
It was like a foyer area. There was like a kitchen. There was an upstairs, downstairs. It was giving
furniture.
Good money. But anyway.
if we have to make something to highlight a particular community within that sector, that lets you know that that community is not valued, they're not seen, they're not heard, period. So you just have to understand that when creatives are coming out and they're like, this is this and this is that. Mm-hmm. Target has the whole Black History Month collection.
It's the freedom for me.
Walmart will never forget it. It's the freedom for me. But
Juneteenth, good vibes.
Y'all better take a page from Target. Target, the first year I was a little questionable, but y'all getting it. I'm not saying you're perfect.
If there's one thing Target's gonna do, it's capitalize on something. The gays, the blacks, all of them,
Asians,
everybody,
the Latinos,
everybody
gonna get.
Everyone's getting a holiday.
I've seen it all at Target, but I'll give it to you. What y'all had, those pieces, super cute. Love
Chinese
the people
New Year, all of it. They got it all.
I'm done with you.
Ooh.
Pedestals are not something you can live up to. Period. Nobody can live up to the pedestal of a throne. So if someone is putting you at the throne and say, well, prove to me this and prove to me that and do this and do this and do that, I'm human. I'm going to fail you every time. I'm going to do something that's going to make you upset. It's going to make you angry. You ain't going to talk to me for a little bit. You're going to be mad. You're going to think I could have done more. Like,
this is what y'all have for having expectations of people. Let people be people. Let people be human. Like, you can't expect your friend, your partner to always agree with you. You can't expect them to always fulfill all your needs. You can't expect them to always be on your side. Right. Especially if you don't communicate. If you can't tell them how you're feeling, like, what am I supposed to do about that?
Yeah.
But you can't expect anybody, partner, friend, family member, parent, child, to always agree with you and always be in your corner and always be like, oh, yeah, I'm by your side all the time. Yes, in a weird, fucked up world, maybe that would be awesome. Maybe. But people are people. Let people be people.
Let people mess up. Let people have mistakes. Let people, and you have to gauge what that mistake means to you. So, I think it's important for people to understand that disappointment can oftentimes take on similar forms as grief. And it's not to say that they are the exact same thing, because grief has very much different magnitudes than disappointment. But you have to allow people to go through the stages of disappointment, however big you think it is or not. If they're experiencing a moment of disappointment that is of whatever magnitude, just let them go through it. But also be honest and just sometimes people don't even want to hear things. They don't want encouragement. They don't want words. They just need someone to talk to. They just need a listening ear. They just need someone to vent to. They just need things like that. And that could also mean that maybe they need to speak to a therapist, because that's what therapists are there for, or counselors. But friends too are listening ears. They're advisors. They are, in the sense, counselors, people that you trust with their opinion. So gauge it. Think about your response before you do it. Don't just say
saying I'm here for you is nice, but think
about what you're saying.
Spend 5 seconds thinking about what you're gonna say. Actually, what was it? I had a high school principal. At the time, I didn't really like him because he was very strict, but looking back on it, he just cared about his job and cared about the students. He said, spend 5 seconds.
Yeah. I have to feel like I already
thinking about it, and then spend an additional 5 minutes confirming what you just thought. It was like 55 rule. Shout out 55? To you.
Hey, I like that.
What's his name? I almost called him President Kemp. That's gross. Principal Kemp, shout out to you. Yeah. You're a real one. Like I said, you wouldn't annoy the piss out of me when I was younger, but
he did his job.
Listen, he was close to my parents. He was at dinner one time, and I was like, "Why are you in my house?"
Oh yes, same. My mother was very much so. My parents were very much so friends with the principal, which is why I got away with a lot of stuff, even though I didn't.
Oh, it was great for.
I didn't do a lot of things. There was only one incident, and we don't have to get into that right now. But I say all that to say, going back to handling disappointment,
For every winner, there's a loser, period. And you have to accept that. So, sometimes you're the winner and sometimes you're the loser. And it doesn't mean you're the loser in the sense that you've lost the complete war or the complete battle. It's just that entity or that moment where you've lost what you wanted. And you just don't need to give up. Like, I'm an encourager by heart. I live by encouragement. I'm a person of faith. I've lived by faith. Anyone who wants more in life, anyone who's looking for things more than the status quo is going to come against adversity. We see it in media. We see it in books, television, film, everything. You are always going to have a moment where you come against a wall where you feel like you can't get over that wall. And you just have to move forward. Like you have a choice. You have a choice to whether you're going to sit there and say, well, this didn't work out the way that I wanted to, and it sucks, and that's it. Or this didn't work out the way that I wanted to, and I'm going to look for whatever opportunities for me or whatever around. And I don't mean to sound like all motivational speaker-y. But that really is what it is. Like, disappointment is not the end of the story. Like, it's not the period. It's not the end of the book. Like, you go through moments where you are hoping for something and it doesn't work out the way that you want, but it doesn't have to end there. Oftentimes, the disappointment we experience, if we keep going, what we gain is far greater than what we could have ever seen or what we could have ever imagined we would gain. So it's just about keeping going, keep your eyes on the prize. Oh yeah, had to take it back. But yeah, so I'm an advocate for encouraging your people and listening to them. Listen to what they need and pay attention. If they're not here for you, telling them encouraging words, just chill for a minute. Just chill on it. And bring it up a little later.
Right. Let them come to you.
Yeah, let them come to you. If you are discouraged and you're feeling apprehensive about going to the people who are supposed to be there for you, you need to question the people you're around and you need to question your motives. You need to realize that the people who are around you are not there for no reason. They're not there for decoration. They're not just there for you to have someone to go out and have a good time with. If you're trusting these people with your intimate thoughts and you're talking to them about what's going on in your life, you need to trust them about the outcomes that are coming in your life. So yeah.
So I have been personally affected by this situation before in my own personal life. So I purposely picked this letter because I can really just like put myself in this person's shoes.
That's fair.
And this comes from Interaction Then 9424.
Okay.
My friend thinks he's an alpha male. Oh my god, he was saying it out loud. It's fucking funny.
Excuse me?
Me and my friend, both straight guys, have been friends since high school. Mm-hmm. My friend has always leaned on the more heavily masculine side, being very much into working out, all the quote-unquote typical guy things such as large trucks, boxing, football, and all that great, wonderful stuff. Since going to college, my friend has seemed to make a drastic change for the worse with his masculinity. Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh, because it's really fucking funny that people think this way. He has recently started using languages such as he's an alpha male and how certain things I do are so beta. And how he is more of a man than I am, as well as becoming more of a narcissistic and sexist person, often quoting things from people such as Andrew Tate and Alex Jones. How do I tell my friend that his behavior is really fucking off-putting? I put the fucking in there because, like I said, I'm personally attacked by this one. and let him know that I think what he believes in is really stupid. Please help. Any advice would be great. I really enjoy hanging out with my friend, but anytime he opens his mouth about his masculinity or how much of an alpha he is, I want to punch his teeth in. You want to go first? You want me to go first? Actually, I'm gonna go first. Why? Actually, I'm not gonna ask why. Y'all are not wolves. Y'all are not dogs. Y'all are human.
This is
beings.
Twilight, and Bella said, "May the best of them win."
I don't know. I know who to blame for this. I know exactly who's to fault for this. You know, it makes sense. The timeline really makes sense because it's the same people who are adults now that were watching Teen Wolf on MTV back in the 2010s or whatever. They grew up and became these people who think they turn into an alpha when the moon's out, and oh my, if I don't jerk off and I don't do this, I'm a big old man, and you're such a beta because you apologize to people.
I've never heard anybody call somebody a beta.
Okay, you're such a gamma or whatever the fuck, alpha, beta, omega, whatever the fuck, because you treat people with respect and you don't call women bitches, and you think girls got rights or whatever. And it's the dumbest, most aggravating thing that I have seen pop up recently, where men's masculinity is so fragile, where the idea of a man showing quote unquote weakness or kindness or expressing their emotions bother these people so much, where they are now consider them less than a regular man. I don't know who raised these people. I don't know why you subscribe to it. I'm sorry your dad never held you. I'm sorry your papa never told you he was proud of you or loved you and told you to suck it up. Go to therapy, because that's fucking weird. You're not a fucking dog. You're not a wolf pack leader. You don't stop trying to howl at the fucking full moon. There's no such thing as an alpha, beta, whatever. Like, sure, people can have more dominating dominating personalities. Like, they can, kind of fill up a room or really, control a presence or whatever. But, like, please shut the fuck up. Also, to the point about the Andrew Tate thing, if you tell me you support Andrew Tate, you gotta go. You gotta go. Period. Point blank. Period. You just gotta go. You don't need to be in my life. There's nothing we need to talk about, because now I understand that we are working on two completely different wavelengths as individuals. If you take anything that man says to heart, like, it's just baffling to me. Men need to get it together. I'm praying for my people. I really am. I hold them in my prayers daily. Like, I just want them to do better. But, like, let someone come up to me and say, like, I'm an alpha man. I'm going to alpha punch you in your motherfucking face. How about that? How about that? That is what it's going to be. Period. I got